Trainer Emily here, and this is Bodhi. Welcome to Training Tip Tuesday. So last week we talked a little bit about different types of harnesses and selecting the right harness for your dog. This week we thought we would do a follow-up on how to teach your dog to wear harnesses and put harnesses on your dogs without making them fearful or upset. So it's very common practice for people, and this is the tracking style harness, for people to simply put it over the dog's head. And as it so happens, Bodhi is very cooperative and he doesn't seem to mind very much if I do that. But one of my little tricks as a trainer, especially when I'm working with a dog that has never had a harness on before, is to get them to put their head through the harness rather than me force the harness over their head. So, this is a weird awkward angle here, but you do like treats. Here. Yeah, good boy. There we go. So if he follows the treats through the harness, that will help him to not only focus a little bit more on what we're doing, especially if he was, for instance, really excited about getting his harness on, but also that teaches him what is needed when he's presented with a harness. We need him to put his head through the harness. And then, as far as the other parts, this one happens to just clip on either side, but every now and then you run into a harness where you only can clip on one side. And again, use treats to gently encourage the dog when you're picking up their foot. There. So it's not a bad experience and they're not frightened. Lastly, I also like to make sure my head is not over the dog's head when I'm putting a harness on, because especially if he's a really excitable dog, he might jump up and get me in the chin. Oh, I don't really like that. You don't either. But by having my head away from his head, not only does it make him feel more comfortable, but it also prevents him from hurting me. This is one type of harness. The other type, still the same concept. Remember, this is the anti-pull harness that attaches to the front. I still want the dog, yeah, there we go, good boy, to stick his own head through rather than forcing the harness over his head. I reach underneath, clip it. If the dog has a clip to the harness, do make sure not to pinch the dog. Most of them don't like that, and it actually will make it harder to put the harness on next time because the dog doesn't want to wear it. But we're all clipped up and ready to go. What do you think, Bodhi? He says he's ready to go. All right. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.